Up next on the MARR Army Rock Show, I'm going to call him a somewhat regular guest to the MARR Army Rock Show. We've got Alan Price from Madam Adam. They're out of Charleston, South Carolina. Been a little bit since we talked to them. Alan, welcome to the show.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Hey, I'm glad to have you back on the show. And, of course, what's prompted us having you back on the show is your newest release, song called Rest of Your Life. So, hey, let's get into talking about the song a little bit. Tell me a little bit about the tune.
So it's to lead up to what it's going to eventually be a part of. It's kind of the first of a group of singles that we're going to release, and then finally leading up to like a 12 to 14 song album. We haven't really parted back to how many tracks it's going to be yet, but this song felt like it came to us so naturally, like both lyrically, musically, everything involved with it just kind of happened. It felt like we almost just pulled it out of thin air, and it was such an organic thing that we really wanted to like hurry up and let people hear this. So, it's a song that really represents where I think Madam Adam is headed in the realm of rock and roll. Or at least one voice that we have. And you'll see when more songs kind of hit the road. We have some heavy rockers, and we have other songs that kind of feel like this one. But Rest of Your Life has a super good message, and we were stoked to get it out to the world.
I was going to ask you a little bit about that stylistically. It's always been hard to kind of put a label on you guys. Sometimes you venture over a little towards pop, but then sometimes you get a little heavier on the heavier stuff. So it sounds like that's going to kind of continue on this record.
Yeah, I think that's the path for us. As we grow and continue to absorb music and what is going on around us in life, things change. It's not all about being angsty and angry at the world anymore. There are a lot of things to love about being alive and being on this planet, and and celebrating that stuff inside of energetic rock music is a cool sensibility, and I'm glad that we've evolved to that level for sure.
So tell us a little bit about, there is a music video out for the song. Tell us a little bit about the video.
Yeah, so it's a lyric, essentially a lyric video, but it also pairs really nicely with the song in the sense that it gives a lot of imagery towards the idea that we were trying to convey with this song, that that you aren't alone on this planet, and that I think that it applies to anybody who is alive and breathing on the planet, has dealt with, loneliness and emotional issues, and even just being happy that you're alive. Just the song and the video work really well with each other, to show the many emotions that we have as human beings. So we thought that the video was an important part of releasing this song for sure.
So you kind of mentioned it quickly there, but let's talk a little bit about the upcoming album. I know we were talking off air a little bit. You're heading towards the studio. Where are you working, and who are you working with? Are you guys self-produced? Tell me a little bit about the recording of this record.
Yeah, so after we released our last full-length record, which came out in 2014, actually right around that same time we opened our own recording studio. And so we live in Charleston, South Carolina. And we operate a recording studio there where we work on our own music. We build new ideas. We rehearse. We, put together the videos. We, build all of our content. But we also work with other bands and try to cultivate, other musicians and people that are doing similar kinds of things. So inside of that, we've really been working towards a new album for the past 4.5 years almost. Building ideas, we probably had 60 or 70 songs in the can that were in a demo phase or another, and now we've got it back to the best 15 or 16 songs, and we're kind of putting the finishing touches, tying the ribbons on all of those, and we should have a pretty good idea of when we'll have the record out in the next month or two, I would think.
So I thought this was kind of funny. You mentioned the last record, and I went back and was watching the Devils in the Details videos today, and just thinking about it, gosh, the political kind of content behind that hasn't really changed in like the last 3 years, has it?
No, it hasn't. And we were just talking about that with somebody else the other day. I mean, pretty soon it's going to be relevant even more so because we're coming back around to a re-election where I think that we might even push that video back out into the public eye a little bit more. And I think anytime you're dealing with politics, you're dealing with, hidden evils. And I think that's really what the Devils in the Details is all about. So I think you could probably see the re-emergence of that video every time we come back around to election season.
Well, a lot of the faces are the same.
Yeah, exactly.
And for folks that don't know, that video has you can see Trump in there, you can see Sanders in there, and Clinton, a little bit of everybody in there. So worth going to check out. It's kind of an interesting commentary. Hey,
Obama, the devil. There's a few others in there too.
A little bit of everybody, kind of bipartisan slamming, if you will, of the system, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, we don't mind.
We know a little of your history going all the way back to the days of touring with Halestorm. In fact, that's how we learned about you guys, or first met you and saw you. Talk about the impact that now they've become such an arena band. Talk about the impact that tour had on your band.
Well, so I was actually not even part of the band when the band toured with Halestorm. I was out touring with other bands at the time. But I know for a fact that was it left a lasting impression on Madam Adam, and Halestorm is such a strong presence in rock music today. But it was the foundation for solidifying why the guys that are still in Madam Adam and creating music with me as a part of it now, why they're still doing it and why they still have the passion for it, because that was such a successful tour for Madam Adam that they realized that, that getting on the road and, especially having a band like Halestorm kind of champion you and throw you out on the road the way they did, it opens your eyes to how many people love rock and roll music and how many people are willing to come out and put some sweat on the floor, if you know what I mean, to support the art that we work so hard to create. So I think that's what it is, man. Like, seeing them move forward and continue to win Grammy awards and all the praise that they deserve means that it's still out there for rock bands, and that's we're not looking for a Grammy awards, but we want to continue making art and have people validate it and have people listen to the music that we make. So it's a big thing.
So talk about touring life there. Is there a hope for a tour in the near future? You're going to wait till the album's out and tour the album? What's the touring plans for the band?
We're talking about it, and we definitely would love to get on the road. There's a lot of cogs that have to line up and a lot of things that have to be just right for us to make it a long-term kind of thing. But we definitely plan on playing shows, even if it's centralized to like doing 3 or 4 show runs and coming back home for a week or 2. But we're going to try to build it as much as we can. The idea is like as much support as we can earn from guys like you who are out there spreading the word about what we do. Like, the more opportunity we'll have to actually get on the road and tour. So
hey, I always like to get a little glimpse behind the curtain at some of the bands. So give us a little insider tip, if you will, on what some of the band's members' personal hobbies are that might surprise us, or maybe they wouldn't surprise us. Maybe they're rather commonplace.
Let's see. So Kenny and Matthew are actually like really crafted builders. Carpenters. They build stuff with their hands, saws and tools, and I'm not really that kind of person. I spend most of my time in the studio making music because I think that's what I'm good at. But Scott likes to spend a lot of time out on the boat. He lives right on the water, and he has a boat, and he that's kind of his zen place. And I think that he would probably say that too. But yeah, man, we live a lot of life and do a lot of cool things. I have actually 2 little girls at home, and I love to spend time with my kids. So between splitting studio and rehearsing with the band and writing with other bands, and we're always staying busy doing cool stuff. So.
Now, since your entry in the band, since you've joined the band, what's been the highest point for the band so far, like the apex moment for Madam Adam since you've been with them?
Honestly, I think it's the last 5 years have been kind of stellar in every way. We've been given this freedom to take our music and not have to be constrained by a record label telling the band what we needed to be doing. And we've spent the past 5 years just really enjoying creating music. And I think that's the apex moment, is when we opened our studio and we said, you know what, like, we don't need anybody else at this point. We have every mechanism that we need to write, record, and release music. And although we haven't released 10 albums in the past 5 years, we've really taken the time to have some introspect into what it is that the band is and give ourselves time to evolve. And a lot of times when you're tied to record labels and such, you don't really get that comfort zone. And now we have our own comfort zone, our own machine behind it, and we're ready to roll. So
with that said, goals for 2019. If I was to talk to you, let's say around New Year's time, what are you hoping is going on with the band, let's say by New Year's?
I'd like to think that we have a tour locked in, that we have our record out, and that we have some momentum going on behind it. We do have plans to play shows, like I said, but I would really like to see us get ourselves out on a tour, maybe even with Halestorm again.
Hey,
here's a little shout out, Halestorm. Let's go. Let's do this.
They are local folks to us here, man. We broadcast out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. They grew up in Red Lion, Pennsylvania, about 15 miles from here. So they are local legends in this part of the world. So that would be awesome. So
right, yeah, I think we played Harrisburg with them. So that's pretty close to where they're from, right?
Oh, yeah. It's right in our little triangle of great music up here in southeastern Pennsylvania. So, hey, one more thing, since I mentioned our little local scene, which is amazing up here. So what's the music scene like in Charleston, South Carolina? Sometimes the further south I get, the rock scene gets a little bit tougher, and I'm not stereotyping anybody. What's the Charleston music scene like down there?
I would say that the rock scene is a little tougher. That's, again, going back to being on the road and what we took from, being on the road every time we had the opportunity to do it, was that there are a lot of places that support rock music more so than where we're from. But now we have a really great radio station. They're called 98 Rock, and they support local bands, they support regional artists, and they're trying to kind of help build things up foundationally speaking, and let the world know that rock does exist in the holy city, which is what they call Charleston. But,
I didn't know that.
But yeah, it's an eclectic music scene.
It's a beautiful town, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tourist destination, so they don't want people screaming in their faces necessarily when they hop off the boat. But that comes with the territory. So we're happy to be making a little bit of noise in a place that isn't necessarily known for being a rock city.
Well, Alan Price of Madam Adam, man, it's good to have you on the show, and we're going to keep supporting Madam Adam. We're going to keep following you guys, and we'll be looking for that record to come out, and it'll definitely feature some music when it does. And tonight, we will feature the latest release, Rest of Your Life, as well as we'll go back and play Devil's in the Details, maybe one other two tunes since I mentioned it for the folks. So, hey, Alan Price, man, thank you so much for being here on the Marmy Rock Show.
Thank you so much, man. Anytime.